Do Ouija boards actually work? Yes, they do. I have done one and I promise you it works. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. So before I did a Ouija board, if you had asked me, do Ouija boards work? I would have said no. Only a bellend would believe you can summon spirits via a board game. So if you don't believe Ouija boards work, I completely understand. However, I promise you this story is true. At the time, it fully traumatized me. I think I pooed my pants. And I have a theory that I may have been cursed because my life has been a disaster ever since. Sure, that could be down to my alcoholism, but no, I reckon I was cursed. My testicles have disappeared. They are stuck somewhere in my body. If I was an evil satanic ghost demon and I wanted to curse somebody real good because they disturbed my eternal slumber, I would make their testicles disappear. However, my balls disappearing may have absolutely nothing to do with black magic, but either way, I should probably go see a doctor. Anyway, let me tell you about my Ouija board experience. I was about 13 and my neighbour was a girl that I liked, and she told me that her and her friends do Ouija boards. She said to me, why don't you come and do a Ouija board with us? Now in my head I was thinking, fuck that. I've heard about these things and I don't want any part of it. But on the other hand, I didn't want to look like an absolute pussy. So I said, yeah, alright, why not? I'll come and do a Ouija board with you. Also, part of me was thinking it's probably not going to work anyway, so what's the big deal? How wrong was I? If I had known I was going to be traumatised for life and that my balls were going to disappear, I would have ran the other way, but hindsight is a son of a bitch. So I've rocked up to my neighbour's house and we've gone up to her bedroom, and I kid you not, they're all giving it the old Sabrina the Teenage Witch. There's 4 of them sitting around a Ouija board, candles everywhere and satanic music playing in the background. I thought, fuck this, but then I remembered I don't want her thinking I'm a pussy, so I sat down and put my finger on the glass. It was a homemade Ouija board and they were using a little whiskey glass as the thing that moves about. We all gently placed our little finger on the glass and then they began talking in synchronicity, asking if there were any spirits present. They wanted me to talk in time with them, but I felt like a dickhead. This was my first time being a witch and I wasn't very good at it, but clearly these guys had had a lot of practice. They're all proper getting into it, giving it the chance, and I'm just like, hello, anybody there? Nothing was happening. It seemed like we had ourselves a flopper. But apparently I was the problem because I wasn't allowing myself to channel the dark magic. So they told me to go and sit on the bed while they got the Ouija board up and running. So I go over to the bed and I watch as these 4 teenage witches start summoning demons. I remember thinking to myself, this is nice. And then all of a sudden the glass slid to yes. I will never forget the way the glass glides across the board. Freakiest thing I have ever seen in my life. So now they've got a demon on the old blower. They start asking it questions like, who are you? How did you die? I remember them asking where it was in the room, and it said bed. I was sitting on the bed and there was an empty space next to me. I think that was the moment I pooed my pants. Now the Ouija board was working and the glass was moving. The girls told me to come over and put my finger on the glass so I could feel it moving. I cannot express to you how weird it is feeling this thing move. It doesn't just go straight to the letters. It kind of hovers about as if the spirit is trying to decide what letter to choose before gliding over to the selected letter. We started asking for specific dead people. We were like, who's dead? Jill Dando, do you remember her? She was dead, she still is actually. She got shot in the head and we were like, let's give her a call. And so we started chanting Jill Dando's name. Jill Dando, Jill Dando, Jill Dando, Jill Dando, Jill Dando. Fuck knows why we wanted to talk to Jill Dando, but we did, and she was really nice. I don't think she was the one who made my balls disappear, although it could have been. You know what some people are like? Really nice to your face, and behind your back, they make your balls disappear. It's funny, yeah, because when you're not using a Ouija board, you can think of loads of dead people, but when you're put on the spot because you need to call some dead geezer up, you can't think of anybody. We were like, come on, who's fucking dead? Somebody's definitely fucking dead. But now your mind goes completely blank. Eventually I remembered that my grandparents were dead, so we gave them a call. Hello, Grandma. The board starts moving. It spells out, I love you. Granddad is here, and tell Tash I love her. Tash is my sister. Only one of the girls knew that. The other girls were like, who's Tash? So yeah, that was a head fuck. I was getting a little bit emotional because I was speaking to my dead grandparents. I get a little bit teary. I want to tell them how much I love them and how much I miss them. But I don't want to come across as a wet lettuce in front of the ladies, so I just say, nice one, guys. Looking back, I should have made more of that situation. My grandparents probably thought I grew up to be a right fucking dickhead. But it's done now, what am I going to do about it? If you're watching Grandma, Granddad, I have grown up to be, actually yes, a right fucking dickhead. So, after Jill Dando and my grandparents, we were thinking about who to call next, and one of the girls suggested that we call a girl in my class who at the time was missing. Like, she was on the news, she was missing. I was like, no, that's messed up. And they were like, but then this way you will know whether or not she's dead. I didn't want to do it, but in the end I caved in and we started asking the Ouija board whether or not my missing friend was there. Turns out she was there. I was like, shit. All the girls were like, go on in, mate, talk to her, you knew her. And I was like, well, what the fuck do I say to my missing dead friend? Little bit fucking awkward, isn't it? Fuck. Yes. Fucking shit. Fuck. Sorry about fucking this. Fucking ball bags. I was like, hello. I am really sorry that you are dead, but we need to find out what happened to you. Who did this to you? The board spelt out man. I then asked where it happened. The board spelt out lake. And then the glass started frantically moving about before shooting off the board. And just like that, she was gone. Now, I don't know whether or not the spirit or whatever was moving that glass was who it claimed to be. Was Jill Dando, or was it just some ghosty cunt pretending to be Jill Dando for a laugh? It's a bit of a weird concept to think that you can die and then you can pretend to be Jill Dando for a laugh on a Ouija board. But then again, it's also a weird concept to think that that was actually Jill Dando. Like, how does that work? Jill Dando's just chilling there in the afterlife when her alarm goes, oh, for fuck's sake, not again, somebody's calling me on the old Ouija board. Sorry, I need to take this. Was my grandparents my grandparents? Whether they were or not, whoever it was knew my sister's name. So that's a head fuck. And was my missing friend actually my missing friend? You're probably wondering to yourself, what happened to her in real life? Well, the official story is she was murdered by a serial killer called Levi Belfield. He's a right nasty cunt, goes around killing women and shit. So yes, it was a man, but it didn't happen by a lake. But just like everything in this world, there is a conspiracy about this case that suggests she wasn't killed by Levi Belfield. Maybe she was sacrificed by a lake. She probably was killed by Levi Belfield, the serial killer, who's in prison now. But there is a conspiracy about it, so... Anyway, this whole Ouija board experience fully fucks my head up. I remember that night, I had this dream where I was in the shower, it was all steamy, and I cleared the steam, and Millie Dowler's face was just there. I woke up screaming like a little bitch, I pissed my pants. It definitely fucked me up for quite a long time. I've told this story to some of my friends, and a lot of them are calling bullshit. A lot of my friends think the girls were winding me up and pushing the glass, but I promise you, they was not. I actually reached out to my neighbour years later to ask her if she was winding me up. She said no, she wasn't, it was real, and it scares the shit out of her now, and she doesn't like talking about it anymore. Whatever these boards are, whatever they do, whoever it is that we are communicating with, I don't believe they are to be messed with, unless you know what you're doing. But it's not like you can take a Ouija board course at college, is it? Thinking about it now, I honestly do not understand what is going on. I don't know how it moves, I don't know. All I know is that it works. I have seen it, I have felt it, I have pooed my pants. The elites of this world, they're satanic, they practice dark magic, so it makes sense that a Ouija board would work. They blatantly know how to use it, but they don't want us messing with that stuff, do they? If I could go back in time, would I still have done it? No, because I want my balls back. Come back, balls! Saying that, years later, one of my mates convinced me to try it again, so we went down a dark alleyway and tried to summon Jimmy Savile. Luckily, it didn't work. Could you imagine if it spelled out now then, and we ended up releasing a demonic paedophile out into the world? I would have felt like a right cunt. The reason I don't think the Ouija board worked the second time is because the same reason it didn't work the first time I tried it with the girl. We wasn't doing it properly. I think there's rules to this shit. It's not a joke. You are channeling something and you have to be serious about it. Doing it half-assed or pissing about trying to summon dead nonces is not going to get you results. So, have you ever done a Ouija board? If so, please tell me about it in the comments. I am not paranoid. Thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me. Please like, share, subscribe and fondle my bell. End. And I'll see you in the next video. Mwah! Fucking hell.